Naruto to bring the beat down to Ishiki, smacking him around and drawing lots of clean hits that would have taken out any lesser being.
Naruto! Got all the vibes. Yeah, I got all the vibes. I can't let you run. A nigga can't let you run. This rock star life got me on another high. It's fucking with my mind. All these drugs on my mind. I got all the vibes. Yeah, I got all the vibes. I can't let you run. A nigga can't let you run. This rock star life got me on another high. It's fucking with my mind. All these drugs on my mind. Getting to the good Dark Knight gang in this thing, gang. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody have a great weekend. Bro, have a great weekend. Sis, have a great weekend. Today, I'm about to react to a video from VinnyTube, most epic anime fights of summer 2021. Y'all said, Brandon, some more anime fights. Don't trip, you know I got y'all. Of course, you guys want an update on my anime journey. Right now, I am still watching Tokyo Revengers. I'm on episode 12 or 13. I was watching it last night. So yeah, I watched like 10 episodes yesterday, bro. I'm on like episode 12 or 13. It's pretty cool. It's not a review yet. Not a review yet. It's only 24 episodes. After I finish it, I'll finish it soon. I'll talk about it, make a whole little review, and we can have a little discussion, you feel me? Anyway, VinnyTube, most epic anime fights of summer 2021. I'm ready to hop into this video. We're gonna see some epic anime fights. Shout out to the gang. I'm dropping like 3 or 4 reactions. Be on the lookout for all of them. You know they all fire, bro. Yeah, man, let's hop on into this. Let's go. He got Star Wars on here? Whoa, hold on for this. Star Wars Visions? I might have to watch this, bro. I love Star Wars. Oh, that
Let's just
dope.
say that Star Wars has had quite a tumultuous run in recent years. I wouldn't say that the franchise is marred with controversy per se, but the last few movies have been quite polarizing now, haven't they? Well, the newest chapter to the saga, an anime out of all things, seems to set things up to an upswing. Star Wars Visions has debuted to a very positive response, and it has a lot to do with how each episodic chapter carries some interesting story potential. Among those, The Ninth Jedi is my favorite one by far. It really captures the classic Star Wars feel the most amongst the episodes, and I wouldn't really mind it being a launch pad into an entirely new series. Oh, and there's that amazing fight with Siths versus Jedis. I love it simply for the high speed, frantically choreographed action that I've come to love the franchise for. In a little over just a minute, it also showcased some of the best of Star Wars battles. You have the quick one-shot, the usage of force powers and lightning, and the very fast-paced dances that are the lightsaber battles. A lot of people consider this episode the best one in the series, and it's not hard to see why.
Bro, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I gotta watch that. I'm sorry. I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break from Tokyo Revengers. I don't care what you say, bro. It is what it is. I don't care. I gotta watch that. I love Star Wars. And he said that was fire. You see how happy I was? I was smiling the whole time, bro. It is what it is. I'm a huge nerd for Star Wars, bro. I gotta watch that. Oh, that looks so fire. Shout out VinnyTube for putting that on the list, bro. Hype. Okay.
At times, first impressions are everything. That's all you need to get a legion of anime fans following your show weekly. If you're asking me for the best first impression of the season, I'd easily give it to The Detective Is Already Dead. Things opened with a bang in the show's pilot episode, featuring an amazingly animated fight between Siesta and Gomori. Everyone was raving about this fight and its animation, but in terms of narrative placement, I also like it very much. It gives us a glimpse of what to expect out of the show, and that it's a mystery show with a healthy amount of fighting and dashes of supernatural. It's a blend of genres that the show prides itself on, and while it may seem that the anime team blew their effort and budget in the first episode of the show, I'd say this fight allowed the show to get off on the right foot.
It looks pretty dope.
We proceed.
Oh, One Piece. All right, look. I'm a little faded. It is what it is. I'm in the clouds. God damn, I be so nerdy, man. Bro, it's embarrassing. Anyway,
with Luffy
One
versus
Piece.
Ulti.
海賊王になるのはカイドウ様に決まってんだろ。
En route to its landmark 1000th episode, One Piece gave us a treat with a recent fight. Ulti's no slouch, and despite the hype that Luffy gets with his newfound powers, Ulti still puts up a fight that has him on the ropes. Punches were thrown, hakis clashing. It's definitely not as hype as some of the major boss fights in One Piece history, but we're talking over 2 decades of anime here. The fight is still pretty damn good as a standalone. Always love seeing Luffy in action, and I say that he really works well in these short but sweet duels. And of course, Yamato's entrance at the end. I feel like Toei absolutely nailed the Thunder Bagua scene. Next on the list.
He said that's like 1,000 episodes in, bro. Do you know how long it's gonna take me to get to that fight? Nigga, it's gonna take me like 3 years.
This is Ganme versus Mobu.
But One Piece, I'm still at the Alabasta arc. I know you guys want me to start it up. I know a lot of people hate me for stopping it. But it's just, I had to take a break. There's other ones I had to watch, bro. Chill. All right, let's keep going.
Why is everyone sleeping on Kingdom again? Why, when it's got spectacular action and intense battles like this one? I know the show has had its share of fans, but I feel that it's always this underappreciated show that deserves a lot more fans. Perhaps the whole Dynasty Warriors setting is quite niche, just like Sengoku Basara during its heyday. But Kingdom is much more than that. We expect a lot of army battles in something like this, but the fight that stole the show for me is Ganme versus Mobu from the current season. Standing ahead of their respective armies, the 2 combatants engage each other on horseback, none giving anything to the other. I just love the intensity in this fight. There's not much visual eye candy that we've been spoiled with thanks to UFO Table and Mappa, but the fight more than makes it up with intensity and the level of gravity thanks to the music and the slow panning shots. It's just one of those gritty, tense battles that can even stand to be a bit bloodier to drive the point home.
I mean, the animation and everything looks pretty dope on that one, but I mean, yeah, I've never heard of it, so it's probably trash, that's why.
Speaking of ensemble fights, Doman versus Valhalla is really epic.
Tokyo Revengers.
Yep, this is something that I'd expect from Tokyo Revengers. Good old gang wars that have no shortage of fierce action and drama. The fights between the mob are all sorts of intense, but the camera's all focused on the meat of the action. I really find the camera cuts in their individual fights so well done. You can feel that you're part of the action by just watching and seeing how each of their fast blows gets captured in anime form. But it was Mikey's scene that stole the show for me. The tension and the drama was at an all-time high, and it looks like one of Doman's pillars finally bit the dust. Until he didn't. I got goosebumps seeing Mikey get back up and hand everyone else a whole can of ass kicking. He's down, but he's never out. And all it takes is a switch being flipped for him to go all badass and raise hell all over the enemies.
Yeah.
Rin versus Nickel from Idaten Deities is also pretty cool.
It doesn't look cool, but let's see.
At first, I wasn't too sure what to expect from this latecomer to the season. The premise is simple enough, but I didn't think that Idaten Deities had a premise that lends itself to a lot of attention-grabbing battles. The synopsis, partially thanks to the art, reads more like a comedy with a few dashes of nice fights. Nice, but pretty standard, and not too great. I'm glad to have been proven wrong though, especially with this fight between Rin and Nickel, or should I say Rin's showcase of power. The fight looks unique compared to the rest of the roster so far in that it retains the light, cartoony appeal of Idaten Deities art. It doesn't look as crisp or modern as something like the Siesta fight that started this list. Regardless, the fight has that same appeal that those Chinese anime fights that I love so much had in that, despite the simplistic art style. It's got that wacky, cartoony feel that you might just enjoy.
Nah, that looks trash, bro. Nah, this look fire.
It feels so good to have Madoka Magica once again. The new movie looms in the horizon, and the second half of Magia Record finally kicks the plot into overdrive after what the first season left us. In particular, I really loved seeing our favourite magical girls in action again, and Magia Record does an excellent job of introducing new characters and having them work with or face off against the legacy characters.
Yeah, this looked dope.
I always felt that Mami would have been a great villain, and she displays that pedigree in full glory in this fight against everyone. Her bullet hell abilities always steal the show, and fighting without restraint as a villain, it becomes even more of a treat to watch. Tsuruno has her own issues with the protagonist, and it's nice to see the two groups of battles converge into one chaotic display of explosions and magic. The fight also has quite the emotional backdrop to it, and while Magia Record may not have quite captured the success of its predecessor, this Season 2 has more than redeemed Season 1 for me. There's a lot more at stake and far better action.
This animation is fire. The action, you see all the guns that lady had, or that whatever she was, it looks pretty dope. This one looks pretty cool. But nah, still Star Wars, cuz. Still Star Wars for me. I gotta start that today, nigga. Today.
The Witcher deserves a mention too.
Oh, I saw this video on, I saw this movie on Netflix. I want to watch it, bro. You guys know I watched Castlevania. Castlevania was fire. I watched the whole season. I watched the whole series. That shit was fire. The Witcher, I played the video game on PS4. It was pretty dope. So I never beat it though. I just stopped playing it because I got the PS5 now, nigga. And I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, that game is fire, bro. Ghost of Tsushima. That's probably one of the best video games I've ever, well, not ever played. One of the best video games I've played in a long time. Okay. Anyway. We're not talking about PS5. Let me know if you're playing this PS5. What video games are you currently playing? I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima. Anyway, let's get back to this. This is The Witcher, the movie. Yeah, I want to watch this too. I saw this. It's on Netflix. I didn't know he would classify this as an anime. It looked dope though.
It's not anime in the traditional sense, but the anime version of The Witcher has had some highlights of its own. One such highlight is Tetra versus Vesemir. While I won't say that the fight carries the entire movie and makes it an absolute must-watch, it's also an absolute treat that shows off what non-Japan animation can do. Fans also agree that Tetra is one of the great antagonists in this list that greatly expands the lore of the games. This fight really sold me to her as a character, and it felt so good seeing the two combatants go back and forth inside the cramped space amidst the fires. The Witcher anime is good supplementary material to the game and the TV show, so if you are a fan, make sure to check it out. The movie still is pretty good in its own right, so that's probably a point of consideration for you too.
Okay. It looked dope. This fight looked fire. Got her. That looked kind of fire.
My Hero Academia continues rolling with Shigaraki versus Ridestro.
Yeah, y'all love this one. Y'all love My Hero Academia.
My Villain Academia hitting all the right notes in the decisive confrontation between the two leaders of the villainous factions. A lot of people have been clamoring to see Shigaraki and Ridestro duking it out in anime form, and while that fight's been toned down, it still does manage to be a home run. Villain versus villain showdowns have always been interesting because it's a battle that you can sit back and not be too invested on one side, or it should have been. What happens is that a lot of these end up having one less bad guy for you to root for. In this case, I found myself rooting for Shigaraki, more due to how much better he is as a character for me. But none of that matters when we start seeing the fireworks fly and the city being destroyed in a clash that would put some of the previous MHA battles to shame. With two characters who have less of a moral compass duking it out, you'd expect to see carnage and destruction, and that's exactly what we got. In the end, Shigaraki stands victorious after leaving a lot of annihilation in his wake, capping off the arc that ended up being a lot more interesting than I first expected it to be when it was still in its anime form. Should I also point out that both of their powers show some similarities to Deku's and Overhaul's powers? Talk about irony and a callback to one of the best fights of the previous My Hero Academia season.
Yeah. The way he described that looked pretty dope for My Hero Academia. Two villains going at it. I've never watched My Hero Academia. I've seen like 3 episodes, so yeah. But anyway, those two villains going at it, that looked pretty dope though, man. They have no regard for anyone that they kill, so they just going hard, you feel me? This is a fire video. Oh, shit.
You'd think that these slice-of-life dragons can throw it down, but here we are. Toru and Elmar just had an intense battle that could give some shonen fights a run for their money. Toru and Elmar blast each other with attacks that just make you go, wow. Seeing each blast that sends the combatants flying miles away is a joy, but I love the banter more. In-fight talking helps drives up the stakes and the intensity of a fight, and the voice actors show us a better way than expected example of that here. It also gave us a surprisingly touching scene between the combatants, which I feel is the more important takeaway here. Fights are not just all about the energy blast and the punches after all. The emotion has to be there as well. On the meta side of things, what makes this sequence so touching is that it's something created in-house in Kyoto Animation. The whole sequence
Bro, this look dope, cuz the magic and everything.
Is the staff
look.
flexing their skills and delivering with a product that's a lot better than what we can ask for. Shows a lot about the resiliency of one of the best studios in the industry, all things considered. In spite of the tragedy a few years ago, Kyoto Animation has come back stronger, and I find that a very wholesome thing. Coming up next is Naruto vs. Ishiki.
Bro, I reacted to this. It got blocked. Relax.
Ishiki's been having Naruto's number for the longest time. He already did the unthinkable and beat both Naruto and Sasuke, and he looks to be in the process of doing so again. This time, Naruto has a new form, but will he be able to turn the tides? We're talking about a new form in shonen anime, so what do you expect? New forms may not win all the time, but they sure look good doing so almost all the time.
Yeah,
Baryon mode ends up being impressive, with it all allowing Naruto to bring the beat down to Ishiki, smacking him around and drawing lots of clean hits that would have taken out any lesser being. It doesn't come without a price though, as both he and Ishiki will soon realize as the battle wears on. This entry is a late addition that came up as I was in the process of wrapping up the video script, but it's very worth the spot. You can really feel the impact from each of Naruto's blows, and with the rocky music keeping you pumped up, the battle is a treat to watch. Hand-to-hand combat has rarely looked this good, but the guys behind Boruto did it. The adaptation really did justice to the hype.
That shit look hard, bro. All right, man. Great video from VinnyTube, like always. Bro, I'm about to watch that Star Wars show today. No joke. I am not joking around. Shout out to the gang. Like I said, I'm dropping like 3 or 4 reactions. Be on the lookout for all of them. Let me know what was your favorite fight in here. The best looking one, I'm not gonna lie, probably had to be Naruto, bro. That Naruto one looks so dope. I thought I reacted to that one. I guess I didn't. I reacted to Naruto and Sasuke versus Ishiki. I didn't do Naruto versus Ishiki. Oh, bro. Shout out to the gang. Everybody have a great weekend. See y'all next time. Peace.
Yeah, I got all the vibes.